YouTube, welcome. Today is June 24th, which means it's Phasmophobia Chronicle release day. Today we finally get the patch notes along with Chronicle. But unless you're an early access content creator, which we are not, we get patch notes today. I thought about going through and getting the patch notes from one of the other content creators, but I thought it might be scummy, so I just went ahead and waited for today. But today we get to go through and we get to read through everything for ourselves. Welcome back, Ghost Hunters. We got an update for you. Today we're excited to release Chronicle, Phasmophobia's latest major update. With this update, one of our biggest ever, we're reinventing what it means to get a perfect investigation, the way you record media, and much more. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, the way that you record evidence or record media, get your perfect games. You can't take 8 pictures of salt, the one of the bone and one of the ghost anymore. They have significantly changed it. It's a lot different now. It's going to be a lot more difficult to get a perfect game, so if you're going for your Apocalypse 3 challenges, good luck. The update's now live for PS5, blah, 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 blah. Remember, if you experience any issues, go to the Discord. Media, the core of the Chronicle update is our complete rework of how media is gathered in Phasmo. A brand new piece of equipment has been added. I'm so excited for this. Photos, in addition to the above, the photo system has seen adjustments. Maximum photos a player can take in an investigation has been reduced from 10 to 5. New types of photos can be gathered. EMF reading on an EMF reader. 3 ghost forms, physical, dots, and shadow. The photo types have been moved to video media and will no longer be able to be photographed. Oh, okay, so these things will no longer be able to be photographed. Light switches, door movements, thrown objects, ghost interactions with various objects. Which makes sense, because before, which I always joked about this, before you take a picture of a light switch and it's like, why are you taking a picture of this? you're gonna send a picture of this to somebody and like, oh, I swear it goes touch this light switch, and somebody's gonna say, oh yeah, yeah, this is ghost activity. I always thought that was ridiculous. Let's see. Yeah, the journal will now hold 5 photos rather than 10. Videos. The first new media type introduced in Chronicle is video recording, which, if you have not seen it, it is really, really cool. It's going to make using the video camera, which it says right here, using the video camera, players can capture video during an investigation. It's going to make using the video camera a lot more popular. So you guys know that I use the video camera a lot, and I think I'm the only one in our games that uses a video camera. I think that more people are going to be using the video camera other than me now. It's going to be popular. A total of 5 videos can be captured in a single investigation. To capture video footage, the player will need to hold down the use button while aiming the camera at a spot they wish to record. A new icon will be displayed on the video camera, encouraging the player to record. Capturing ghost interactions, events, and more is now possible with the video camera. So it says more, so we don't know everything that is capturable. We've seen some things in the early access gameplay from yesterday from all the partnered streamers, which, Phasmo, if you're watching. Below is a section of recordable media during an investigation. Hunting ghosts, triggering the crucifix, ghost orbs, thrown objects, doors being moved, ghost interacting with objects, rocking chairs, gas canisters, etc. A light source shattering, ghost blowing out a candle or fire, which there's a little fun thing about that. You're gonna see that later. And more to discover. And the second new media type is linked to Phasmophobia's newest piece of equipment, the sound recorder. Using this new piece of equipment, players will be able to capture up to 3 sounds per contract. These are able to be played back from the sounds page in the journal, which is also a new section in the journal. It's really cool. The sound recorder itself will be available from level 4, with its tier 2 and tier 3 iterations available at later levels. I don't know about tier 2. I know that tier 3 is available at level 60. The sound recorder can capture the below sounds during an investigation. It can capture paranormal sounds, a hunting ghost. They're all haunting ghosts, singing ghost events, spirit box responses, and more. This is one of the coolest things. This is going to turn the truck princesses into it's going to be a luxury suite for them now. The CCTV. We've overhauled the CCTV system found within the truck during an investigation. The CCTV interface has been split into 3 sections: CCTV cameras, video cameras, and head cameras. Players can view up to 5 different live camera feeds at once. While using the CCTV interface, players can record video media from the safety of the truck. So you have your main one that you can always have clicked on, and then you've got the 4 over on the side. But you've got the CCTV cameras, which are the overhead ones, and then you've got the video camera, which are the video cameras that you can bring into the house, and then you've got head cameras, which everybody can have on, and then you can switch between those. But you can just always toggle between them. You can zoom with them. You can individually turn on night vision. You can pan around with them if you're able to, if you have the tripods. And if you are in the truck, as long as you're sitting at the control, the console, the computer, whatever you want to call it, you can record from this computer and capture video evidence while you're at the computer. So you don't have to sit in the truck anymore and be basically useless just looking for dots or looking for sounds or footsteps or whatever. I don't know what you do over there, but now I don't want to say it, but now you can be a truck princess and be kind of useful for gathering evidence. Up to 5 live feeds from inside the contract location can be viewed from the truck. Yeah, this is really cool, and if you haven't seen it yet, it looks beautiful. It looks great. Unique media. An important part of this update is to create a more immersive ghost hunting experience by removing some of the frustrations, that players have encountered while capturing media. Replace a 3-star rating system with a new unique duplicate system. So I get it. Nobody wants to having the salt picture. It's easy. It gets the job done, but it's boring. Anybody can do it. You can place down 3 salts. The ghost walks right through it. Picture. It's too easy. So now you can't even take pictures of salts anymore. So you can take one picture of one thing, and then that's a unique photo. After that, you cannot take a picture of anything else. So if you take a picture of, I don't even know what you can take pictures of anymore. We'll just say a crucifix, a burned crucifix, if that's the thing that you can take a picture of. You take a picture of a burned crucifix. That counts as a unique photo. You can't take a photo of it anymore. If you do it again, it counts as a duplicate, and then it's donezo, it's gonzo. But then you can delete up to 3 photos, or 3 total things. So you can delete like 1 media, 1 photo, 1 sound, what have you, but only 3 total things. During a contract, the first time a piece of media is captured, it is marked unique. If the same piece of media is captured, it will receive a duplicate mark, and it will reward less money and experience. So kind of what I said, except I guess you still get money for it. It's just duplicate. To achieve a perfect investigation alongside usual requirements, players must fill their journal with unique media. Sorry, I can't read. Up to 3 pieces of media can now be deleted during an investigation, up from 2 previously, which is what I said. Let's see, rewards and progression. This is really cool too. They're changing up the progression a little bit. People thought that they were gonna mess with the prestiges and the leveling, but I don't think that's the case, at least not from what I've seen. It looks like it's all staying the same. Chronicle introduces changes to the overall rewards and progression system. So rewards using higher tiers of photo camera, video camera, and sound recorder will reward players with an additional monetary bonus per piece of media. So $1 for tier 2 and $2 for tier 3. So that is awesome. You get rewarded for using higher level stuff. That is fantastic. That's great. It makes having higher level things worth it. I mean, I guess. All media rewards are now included in the reward multiplier. Progression. Equipment in their corresponding tiers are now unlocked earlier, which is fantastic. One of the things that I saw was the crucifix is now unlocked earlier. Oh yeah, it says it right here. Let me stop going ahead. Tier upgrades are now unlocked in groups of 2 or 3, giving the player the choice of which upgrade path to follow first. Example, Crucifix Tier 3 and Incense Tier 3 are both available to unlock at level 80 instead of 90 and 85 respectively. That's awesome. So you get to choose which one you unlock first. So based on your playstyle, you can choose, like, do I want to go with the Incense to level up first, or do I want the Crucifix? It just depends on your playstyle, so everybody can level up based on how they play, you know? These changes will allow players to have options for upgrading equipment instead of forcing a linear upgrade path. That is fantastic. That is, I love that. I think that is a fantastic change. Challenges and optional objectives. Another part of the Chronicle update is our review of the optional objective and in-game challenges. While the rotational challenges will remain the same, we now have the ability to introduce unique challenges throughout the year. These could include update launch challenges such as On Record, live as of June 24th. Progress from Lights Out will be wiped and replaced with On Record. Increased XP events, equipment focused challenges. Okay, that's cool. That's neat. These changes to the challenge system will also allow us to override challenges if an issue is found during any given week. That's neat. With optional objectives, we made several adjustments, introducing new changes and changing challenges and changing existing ones. Sorry. Jeez. Gosh, am I from Philadelphia? Further changes and improvements to optional objectives will be made in future update. New, capture 3 unique photos with a photo camera, capture 3 unique videos with a video camera, capture 2 unique paranormal sounds with a sound recorder, capture a video of a ghost. So basically using the new equipment or new ways to use the equipment. Changed, find evidence of a paranormal activity with an EMF reader, and it has changed to capture a photo of an EMF reading of an EMF reader. Okay. While the meat of Chronicle focuses on our reworked media system, the update brings with it the host of meaningful changes, bug fixes, and various other improvements. Read on to find out what else is new for Phasmophobia. New interface improvements. The main menu has been reworked. Players can now set play style to casual, hardcore, and roleplay, and hardware preferences. Interesting. Okay. So I guess for multiplayer, right? Yeah, when creating a room. That's great. So whenever you play multiplayer, you really don't know too much about the room. You know the name, and I think that's it, right? I really don't join too many random lobbies, but you don't know if they're VR, you don't know if they're talking, you don't know if they're playing on amateur, which 90% of the time they're playing on amateur. But honestly, if I'm playing no evidence. I am casual. I don't know if you'd call that hardcore if I'm playing no evidence, but I like to have a good time. But it makes it so you know what you're joining before you join the game, you know? I think that's great. Players can now filter by the above options in difficulties on the lobby browser. Players can now see the difficulty or multiplier if using a custom difficulty of a lobby when browsing the room browser. That is fantastic. All right. Players can now see the currently selected map of a room. Okay. Okay, so that they're making it just a lot more transparent, so you know what you're getting into before you join. So if you join that lobby, there's no reason for you to leave because you know what you're getting into. When using text options instead of voice recognition, the relevant gamepad UI buttons now flash when pressed to give visual feedback on button presses. Twitch drops are now live. I wouldn't know anything about that. I don't use Twitch. Many new sounds. Yeah, there are. Check your trophy cabinets. VR players can now grab doors from any position on the door. I know that was a problem for you guys. I don't use VR. Added a virtual cursor sensitivity option for UI navigation. You can now go back to the post-game debriefing screen after closing it. Thank God. I can't tell you how many times I close it. I just skip through it and then I close it. And I want to go back and look at it. Added an auto aim option for gamepads to help grab and interact with objects. That's kind of cool. Players can now rename their custom difficulties. Oh, that's cool. The crucifix. Oh, sorry, these are changes. The crucifix now visually cools down after successfully preventing a hunt. That's cool. I guess. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that. Consoles now default to the last selected region rather than the region with the lowest ping to match PC. Phasmophobia will now be able to load on Steam without an internet connection. That's really cool. So if you play this game solo instead of playing online, you can boot it up without an internet connection. And then if you want to play online, then you can boot up the game solo or, without an internet connection and then load up online. Goryo now has an increased chance of dots. That is going to be so helpful. Fuck you, Goryo. Banshee can now change rooms. No! No! Why? Why? Why would they do that? You don't mean that. The player will no longer have to click the ready up button in single player. Okay, that's cool. I mean, why would you need a ready up? Fixes. Fixed an issue, fixed an issue, fixed an issue, fixed an issue. Okay, so I'm going to say fixed an issue one time, and you guys are going to realize that fixed. Okay, all right. Point hope that restricted player movement when holding the large pan from the kitchen. Didn't know that was an issue. That would cause salt to be placed in the air, where the CCTV screensaver would appear outside the monitor. I knew that, but didn't know that it happened for a lot of people, I guess. Would cause cursed possessions to be thrown out of a player's reach in the Bleasdale attic. Bones would spawn behind inaccessible locations on the maps, blah, 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 blah. I've seen a lot of that on Reddit. I've never personally had that happen to me, but I've seen a lot of it on Reddit. Fix an issue, sorry I said it, that allowed for infinite sprinting after using the monkey paw. I did not know that was a thing. VR players with the Tier 3 Firelight, Tier 3 Incense, and the Voodoo Doll would swing oddly while held. Cabinet door would not show as open for non-VR players if opened by a VR player. Prevented headgear from being usable by other players if a player was disconnected or died. Ooh, that would kind of suck. But I mean, if you're not using headgear already, then I doubt you're picking it up from a dead person. Prevented dots and motion sensors from being picked up if placed inside static lights. Example, sailing lights in Grafton Farmhouse. Interesting. That caused cursed hunts to happen if a player was outside the door on several maps. Huh. Caused Haunted Breath to be visible after being killed with extended hunts on. Interesting. That caused the store to scroll while in the tutorial. Fixed an issue that allowed items to be thrown through the outside wall of Ridgeview. That caused the Ouija board to not break when asked a question that would take the player below 0. That caused items to get stuck behind the TV in Tanglewood living room. Caused overlapping text when using the Ouija board. Listed the UV lights in the wrong order in the main menu lobby. Audio issue that caused files to be heard when the master volume was set to 0 on Maple Lodge. Oh wait, caused flies to be heard when master volume was set to 0. So you could be on Maple Lodge and all you hear are flies. Sometimes prevented a ghost from moving rooms when wishing for sanity with the monkey paw. Interesting. The ghost could become stuck in lockers on prison. What? That was a thing? I didn't know that was a thing. Poor ghost. Poor ghost. You could bully the ghost and shove him in a locker on prison? Oh no. Prevented the player from being killed when hiding behind a chair in prison. Didn't know that was a thing. Allowed the Obaki to walk backwards during a hunt. No, they fixed that. They fixed the moonwalking. Caused lights to turn off when the crucifix is used. I did not know that this was a bug. I can't believe this. I learned that this has been a bug for like 2 years. I thought it was a feature. It's not a feature. It's a bug. It's been a bug for longer than I played the game. Issue that prevented seated VR players being able to reach the breaker box on Sunny Meadows. So if you were sitting down, if you were a seated VR player, you couldn't reach the breaker. Just stand up, literally. Just kidding. I know there are people that aren't able to do that. That was a joke. That was a joke. Distasteful joke. I'm sorry. Canceled. An issue that caused the music box to be broken if the player left a previous game while using it. Interesting. How do you find that? How do you find that bug? Visual issue that caused a tier 1 crucifix to clip under carpets. Okay, I've seen that, but it's not just tier 1, right? Pretty sure tier 2 and tier 3 also did that, right? Issue that caused the ghost to become stuck behind crates during a hunt on Maple Lodge. Interesting. Left-handed mode in VR would not correctly swap button layouts. I wish there was a left-handed mode in more games. They should have left-handed modes in everything. Fixed an issue where the ghost could begin a ghost event on Maple Lodge and be out of bounds. That is terrifying. Visual issue with the camping chair found in the yellow tent in Maple Lodge. UI issue that selected random as a player's map choice when they're navigating the menus. Issue that prevented players from mounting video cameras on tripods when playing in VR. Caused the music box to flip when placed on a carpet. Where the other players could see a dead VR player's journal. That's easy. They die and then they just open up their journal. It says, "Hey, it's this one." Fixed an issue that caused difficulty lighting incense in VR. It feels like VR just has a lot of issues. Issue in VR that caused tier 1 flashlight to be angled incorrectly when attached to a player's belt. Issue in VR when teleport grab is turned off, caused incorrect interactions with doors. Issue for VR players that caused inconsistencies with door handling if grab types were not synced. Issue that allowed players to stand in small tents. Maple Lodge would win and prevent the ghost from killing the player. Yeah! Eat shit, you losers. I'm so glad they fixed that. When I did play online, anytime that I would play a random map, they would go to these maps and they would just go to those tents and they would stand there and they would get the ghost to hunt. It takes the fun out of it. I have friends that they do it sometimes. They don't even do it all the time. Like occasionally, you know, it's fine. It's fun to do occasionally, you know, breaking the game sometimes. It's fun. Everybody does it. But the people that constantly go in and that's the only way you know how to play, you're gonna have to do something else now. I can't wait to see those people struggle at the game. That's what you get. Good. Thank God. That is an awesome fix. Fixed an issue that caused inconsistency with the door interaction in VR for small tents. Caused the Ouija board to not provide a correct number when asked how many people are in the room. Issue for legacy players that prevented them from setting legacy options. Scroll down a little bit. Various issues in VR training mode that caused interaction problems. Issue that allowed dead players to hear heartbeat while stood next to the ghost. Issue that caused player to become unready if they open the journal while in a multiplayer lobby. Issue in VR when using the teleport movement, players would drop all their equipment. Issue where equipment belonging to a VR player would appear in the floor of the map for non-VR players. Issue that prevented the Raiju receiving a speed increase around held electronic equipment. Wait, they're not supposed to receive speed increase around held electronic equipment? I didn't know that. Okay. Oh wait, no, prevented the Raiju from receiving. Okay. That makes sense. I was going to say I always put it away. So I guess I just never knew. But they are supposed to receive a speed increase. Okay. That makes sense. Issue that caused the most deaths to stat to not display correctly for some users. So now, if you look at your stats and you see your most deaths to, it should say correctly. Fixed an issue that caused the ghost model to not be visible at distance during a hunt. That is terrifying. So if the ghost could see you and you can't see it and it's sprinting at you as a revenant, good luck. Fix an issue that would cause tripods to become unusable for all players in a... What in the world? If a camera is placed on them by a VR player. Thanks a lot, VR players. Honestly, ruining this game. That's a joke. Displayed Spirit Box UI when opening the journal, requiring the player to close the game to proceed. Prevented players from reporting other players when using a gamepad or playing in VR. Playing in VR where fog would remain after using the monkey paw. Oof. Reducing vision for the player for the remainder of the game. That's rough. Fixed an audio issue that would play footstep sounds when a player is not moving. Fixed an issue that would remove the apocalypse map selection icon after going in and out of a game. Fixed an issue which caused the tick over apocalypse icon to now display after completing gold. Various other bug fixes and improvements. That's fantastic. We love that one. Known issues. We aim to fix these issues in a future patch. Keep an eye out for details and timings. Some trophies may not be visible in the main lobby for players on PS5, VR, blah blah blah. Recordable sound may spawn in an area that is not accessible to player. If a video is deleted, the player will be unable to record another video of that type during the same contract. The sound recorder is not listed alphabetically in the truck list. Audio levels on several sounds may be too high. The master volume setting does not affect the sound recorder volume. The SFX of the sound recorder can be heard from very far away. The High Priestess Tarot card, if drawn, may not revive the player. Footsteps of the ghost in the training area are not audible. There may be higher than expected difficulty in getting audio with the sound recorder during the ghost hunt events. The player cannot take a photo of the thermometer for freezing temps if their setting is Fahrenheit. Take off Fahrenheit then. Celsius is so much easier, especially in this game. That looks like it is it. That is all for the patch notes of Chronicle. If you are excited for Phasmophobia Chronicle, make sure you leave a like on the video. Comment down below if you're planning on playing this. If you're looking for people to play with also, comment down below. Get a group together in the comments. Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you when you come to visit me on my stream. Bye.